Alright legends, welcome back. We have just made the journey across Bank Strait and holy shit, was it wild? Next level. The weatherman said 0.9. I think you've got the 2 or 3 at least in front of it. Conditions were absolutely horrendous. But we're here, remote bunch of islands, and the plan is 5 kilo cray. Let's see if we can do it. Sit back. So the plan is dive as much as possible and try and find the biggest southern rock lobster we can. We travel to these remote islands in hunt for these true giants. These places are still sort of untouched. No real impacts from heavy commercial fishing or from over recreational fishing. They hold absolute giants, probably one of the last places where there is no real impact from humans. So when things don't always go to plan, the weatherman gets it wrong, you're dealing with average conditions. We mixed things up a bit. Went and dived a lot shallower than normal, probably diving on average 5 to 7 metres. Probably the deepest I went was maybe 9 metres, so pretty shallow in the scheme of things for these remote islands. So to our pleasant surprise, the putrid weather, terrible visibility actually played in our favour. We went diving spot to spot, shallower than normal, and visiting locations we'd never ever been to. And did we have some incredible counters? My word. This here, I was classing that as an absolute donkey on day 1. But holy, was I wrong? 100%. Should see what day 2 ended up throwing at us. Complete curveball. Nothing we could have anticipated the whole trip. Alright, day 1 is coming to tail end, just about to knock up a couple of coffees, maybe a bit of a catch and cook. Been pretty rugged, pretty hard diving, conditions are not ideal, pretty putrid the water. But we've managed to locate an absolute cracker, but we won't reveal that one till day 2. See if we can top him off. And have a look at the backdrop for this evening, absolutely incredible in here, magic. Have a look at that for a sunset. How many trailer boats are cooking crayfish and chips for dinner?
We're looking for the fire extinguisher. Put it out.
We could burn the bar crusher out tonight. So tonight's meal, just crayfish tails, bit of garlic butter, bit of sweet chilli, few chippies, bit of salt. That carter's right into his crayfish tail. Look at him. That's chasing tangles. Has it dialed back a bit on the sweet chilli. Well, holy, we dialed down a bit on the sweet chilli. Nearly, I can feel it coming out of my nostrils at the moment. Holy shit, that is hot. But unbelievable. Fresh southern rock lobster on the mighty bar crusher. What more could you ask for? So here we go, day 2. The joys, wet suit, wet gear. Ah well, that's just part of it unfortunately. Can't have it all, the cooler months are here, but the water's still not that bad at the moment anyway. So get straight in there and let's just get straight to work. The hunt is on. Let's see if we can find that 5 kilo model. Well, that's the plan anyway for today. Locate 5 kilo and above. Let's see if I can crack my PB. Dive spot number 1. Here it is. The biggest southern rock lobster I have ever seen with my own eyes. Incredible. As you can tell by the footage, I am deep in a cave here. Not the most ideal situation, but sometimes you've got to run the gauntlet and push the limits, because this thing is a once in a lifetime moment. Now I've safely reversed out of that cave, I can see the sheer size of this lobster. Holy, I've never seen anything with sheer size, volume and strength. Force of this big mature bull is next level. One mistake here could literally crush my hand, finger, or cause serious damage. So to my pleasant surprise, I'm going to have a crack at sliding him in that catch bag. And it went in there. Holy, I've never seen a big bull go in that easy. Just a moment to celebrate. What an achievement. The biggest one I've ever had my hands on. About 4.5 to probably 6 metres the deepest. Holy. This is a big raft. Holy shit. Have a squeeze of this one. That is a fucking big. Excuse the language, that is one big cray. Oh, maybe he might be standing here for his. Holy, have a look at that. Boy, that is one big cray. If I can get him out of the bag, I'll be able to show you how big this thing is. That is one big cray. Holy, that's big. Oh. That is a big fish. I reckon we've done it. I reckon he's going to be pushing 5 kilos. Oh, maybe. We'll be weighing him with the bag, that's right. Oh, no, he's not 5. Yeah, he is. He's 5. That is a big fish. That is one big cray.
Huge.
Holy.
They're beautiful legs.
Have a look at that. That's a big boy. That's a big cray, eh? Have a look at the size of that. Shit, just an absolute monster. How special. That's a big cray. Weigh this one. We'll see what he weighs in at. It's going to be pounds, so we might have to convert that once we get back to. So that there is 11 point. I'm going to call it 11.7 pounds. Not quite entirely sure what that'll be in kilos, but my word, it'll be close to 5, I reckon. We're going to measure this one, guys.
If we can get him to sit.
If we can get him to settle down. Best pull him back a little bit. So we're going to call him. Obviously, his antler parts have come off. One came off in the boat. He is about, roughly, we're going to call it about 680. So he'd be
past 700.
Yeah. So we're going to call him about 700 with his legs and everything. That's all sprawled out. Holy. The biggest crayfish on YouTube, social media, hand caught, no nooses, just straight gloves and human power. What an absolute donkey. Did a rough conversion, 5.3 kilos. If anyone's got one bigger, feel free to drop it below. But that is one big Southern Rock lobster. Holy, that is incredible. Have a look at this, legends. 5.3 kilos approximately. That's rough conversion, an absolute dinosaur. Overall length, just over 1 metre. Leg span, nearly 90 centimetres. Holy, what an absolute incredible creature. We're not going to keep this one though. We're going to let him back go. He's more special in the water than out of it. What an absolute incredible creature. I'd love to know how old this one might be, but he's a testament of time. Incredible. So we got this big mature bull back in the water as quick as possible. A few quick photos, a bit of footage, and just a moment to enjoy that incredible encounter. A once in a lifetime moment, a true dinosaur from the deep. My word, this is something that will be locked in my memory for my lifetime. The most incredible encounter and a true dinosaur. A testament of time and probably one of the most special moments I've ever had. As you can see, I've located a nice cave system. This bull is not real keen on moving. They don't normally dart off like smaller crays. They're extremely territorial and not that concerned by humans. I did hang around here a little bit just to keep an eye on him. It didn't take too long for the natural instinct to kick in, and here he goes reversing back up into this cave system. And my word, that cave system ain't no diver going to get him today, that's for sure. It's deep and it's a hell of a long way up in there. So now I could safely say he is home and hosed, he's out of harm's way, away from predators. He can kick back up in there and enjoy the rest of his days. Hopefully one day I'll be able to cross paths with him, but for now, this is probably the most incredible encounter and probably one of the most special moments I have had diving. Words can't explain it. Just got to take the time while cruising up to appreciate the things we're given and these incredible moments. And hopefully you guys enjoyed this journey I've shared with you on this epic encounter and an incredible moment that will last a lifetime. So we've just done a bit of catch and release with that real big one. He's back down there on the bottom, as you'll see by the footage, putting up in that nice big cave so he can spend the rest of his days. Plenty of big abalone down there, so hopefully he'll get bigger and we might cross paths again. Alrighty, we're nearly at the tail end of another mission. What an absolute trip. PB, Cray, 5.3 kilos approximately. Hell of a day, catch and release. What a special moment. Have a look at the backdrop here. Incredible, sun's setting, so we're at a high speed run back to the boat ramp. What a trip. If you enjoy this kind of thing, hit that subscribe button and we'll see you legends in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.